So my name is Juan, and I wanted to make this video because I've seen a lot of I see a lot of videos about people that are, I'm in my 50s and I didn't save any money. I'm in my 60s, I didn't save any money. I'm, even people in their 70s that haven't saved any money. And this is really direct. I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know, but I'll tell you my story. And I think if you're in your 40s, if you're in your early 40s, you still have time. By the way, I don't know who this is going to apply to. I would say it's going to apply to single people in their 40s, and you're employed. It's not too late, if you start now, if your company offers a 401k, even if they don't, you can open up an IRA at your local bank, whatever bank you're using. You could probably open an IRA and just start contributing. It doesn't matter, $10 a week, $20 a week, who cares? The point is, it's better than zero. It's better than zero. So I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you my story. I started contributing to a 401k. I got serious about my 401k when I was 42. I'm working this job I hate, and I'm just, the wheels start turning. Like I'm trying to figure out, what do I need to do to get out of this job that I hate? It was just draining. It was just draining me. It was just, that's a story for another day. But anyway, I just wanted to say that it's not too late. It's not too late. Open an IRA, start contributing to your 401k, and you can also do some investing. You can there's a lot of information on YouTube, a lot of information about different stocks that you can invest in. You can buy, the last time I looked, I haven't looked in quite a while, but I remember you could buy stocks for $6. Personally, I stay away from crypto. That's a get rich quick scheme that can end up badly, and it has ended up badly for a lot of people. But anyway, I digress. So what I did was I started contributing to my 401k when I was 42, and I just gradually started increasing the amount, and at one point I was at 20%. What I did was I found out, I had it in a traditional 401k, because there's the Roth IRA, and then there's the traditional 401k. And lucky for me, my company had both. So what I did was I split it in half. So I think at this point I was at around 15%. 15% contribution. And what I did was I split it into 7.5 and 7.5. 7.5 for the 401k and 7.5 for the Roth. And so the traditional 401k is before taxes, and the Roth is after taxes. Anyway, that's what I did. That's what I did for years. I was just contributing like that. And so I got up to 20%. And once I won't say the amount, but it got to a number that I was just like, wow, and I got excited. But it was probably so I started in 2011. This was probably around 2019 when I started seeing like, oh man, this thing is growing. This thing is moving fast. So I started increasing it. So I got it up to 10 and 10. So I had it at 20%. And my original plan was I was going to retire I was gonna retire at 60. You know, everybody's retiring at 65. I said, you know what? I'm gonna retire at 60. So, like I said, that was the plan. But I came to Thailand. So see, August. No, not August. Gosh, I can't remember. June, July, I believe it was June, July. I came to Thailand, and so I spent about 2 weeks here, 3 weeks, and I went back, and I just, after being on vacation, you know how it is when you come back from vacation. After being on vacation, I decided, you know what? I can't do this truck driving thing anymore. I gotta get out. I gotta get out. So pretty much all of August, I was just thinking, how can I do this? Can I do this? What's gonna happen if I quit my job now and move to Thailand? Can I do it? You know? And I started doing the numbers, and it worked out. You know, here I am. I've been here going on 3 years now. But I just wanted to say, I don't know. I just want to say that there's still hope. You can still, like Dave Ramsey says, you can still retire in dignity. You know, you just have to just do the numbers. You know, you have to cut back. I mean, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. You know, I started cutting back. You know, I started cutting back. No going out. No drinking, no smoking, no buying. I stopped buying unnecessary things, you know. I stopped buying clothes, you know, only shoes. If I needed a pair of shoes, I bought, of course, I bought a pair of shoes, you know. But other than that, I just stopped, you know. You have to get serious, you know. It's up to you, you know. There's still hope. You can still do it, you know. There's all this talk. Everybody's like, it's like doomsday out there, you know. Everybody's like, oh, with the economy. Are you an economist? You don't know anything about the economy. What are you talking about? You know, just take some money, put it in a 401k. Oh, the stock market's gonna crash. Okay, what if it doesn't? You know, I real quick, you know that during COVID, my 401k was down $22,000. You know, it just kept going down. I kept looking at the numbers, and it kept going down. I was like, oh my God, how far is this thing gonna go? You know, and it got down to 22. It was $22,000 that I was down, and I got all that money back. You know, so I, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking about, okay, the stock market is crashing, but it's not gonna stay like that. You know, I mean, all you got to do is think about the Great Depression. You know, it lasted like 10 years, but it eventually came back up, you know. So because I was going to retire at 60, I wasn't worried. I was like, by the time I retire, it's going to be back up, you know. So I never worried. And I actually got the 22,000 plus because I kept contributing. I think I added like another $16,000, you know. So it worked out, you know. It worked out. And so I just, you know, don't listen to, especially people that don't know anything about money. Don't listen to people. Everybody has this, or should I say, a lot of people have this thing, you know. They think they know money, but they don't, you know. So you have to be really careful who you're listening to, you know. Like I said, I tell you what I did, you know. And by the way, when I actually, my last year working, I actually switched jobs, which is kind of crazy. That's a story for another day. But I ended up, what I did was I took my 401k and I rolled it over into the IRA, you know. And I recommend if you switch jobs, don't leave your 401k with the old company. Like, take that money out of there as soon as you can. Take that money out of there. So anyway, that's what I did. I put it in the Roth. I mean, I put it in the IRA, and I got a financial advisor, and believe it or not, this guy, he's helped me a lot. I think that if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be broke already, you know, because I was out of control when I first got here. I was out of control, but thankfully my financial advisor talked some sense into me, and you know, here I am. I'm still living the life, you know. So anyway, yeah, I just hope somebody's listening to this, you know. I just want to let you know that you can do it. It's you just have to set your mind. You just have to set your mind to it and just do it, you know. Never mind what anybody else says, you know. Oh, the stock market's gonna crash. Yeah, but what if it doesn't? You know, what if it doesn't? So just do it. Just start learning about money, you know. Real quick, I recommend Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Benjamin Graham was actually Warren Buffett's professor in college. So that alone tells you right there. So also The Lords of Creation, and I forget the name of the guy who wrote that, and The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. I recommend those 3 books to get you started. And you know, there's a lot of information on YouTube, and you just have to search it out, you know, search it out. So anyway, good luck.